Initiation into Hermetics by Franz Barden. Magic Psychic Training 9. Conscious separation of the astral body from the physical one. In this chapter, the magician will learn how to separate his astral body from his physical body by means of conscious training, and how to get, not only with his spirit, but also with his soul, to places he wants, for some reason, to visit in the shape of his astral body. The emission of the astral body is, as you shall see, different from mental wandering or the state of trance caused by akasha. The state during which the mental and astral bodies are separated from the physical body is, in the terminology of the occultists, called ecstasy. The perfect magician is able to go anywhere he likes in his astral shape, though in most cases he will content himself with mental wandering or the state of trance. As a rule, the astral body, when united with the mental one, but separated from the physical body, will only carry out jobs that need to be done by physical magic action. When emitting the astral body, certain precautions have to be taken, since in this case, in opposition to mental wandering, both links between the mental and the astral body and the physical body, i.e., the so-called mental and astral matrix, are loosened from the body, the mental and astral bodies being connected to the physical body only by a very subtle elastic ribbon that shines like silver. If, during the period in which the mental body and the astral bodies are loosened from the physical body, the latter were touched by another person, no matter whether skilled or unskilled in magic practice, the said ribbon, being extremely subtle, would break in two at once. The connection with the physical body being thus interrupted, physical death would be the consequence. Therefore, utmost care has to be taken right from the beginning of these exercises that nobody should be able to touch the body of the magician when he puts himself in the described state. The thin ribbon would be torn to pieces, the electromagnetic fluid in man being much stronger. Even the tender life ribbon of an advanced magician would not be able to resist that fluid. A medical expert examining the body of a person killed in such a manner would come to the conclusion that death was caused by heart failure, embolism or paralysis of the heart. In its state of ecstasy, the physical body is, as in the case of apparent death, without life and feeling. Its breath has stopped. Its heart has come to a standstill. The following lines are intended to give you a clear picture of the practical side of the procedure. Apparent death, too, is a state of ecstasy, though caused by pathological conditions in the person concerned, which can be easily explained by any magician. However, it should be added that the mental matrix, i.e., the binding agent between the mental and the astral body, is kept working by normal breathing, which supplies the blood vessels with the four elements, including akasha via the lungs. We all know from experience that there can be no life without breathing. The astral matrix, the connecting link between the astral and the physical body, is kept alive if supplied with enough food. The magician will now become aware of the connection between food supply and breath, and will have found its true cause in the preceding chapters dealing with conscious breathing and well-balanced nutrition. If one point or the other is neglected during this stage of development, Disharmonies, diseases, and other inconveniences will be the result. Many mental and psychic disturbances are caused by irregularities in or neglect of these two factors. Therefore, it has been pointed out right from the beginning that body, soul, and spirit must be equally developed and kept in order. If the physical body is not well balanced, not strong and tough enough, and if it does not have a sufficient reserve of electromagnetic fluids stocked by a substantial food rich in vitamins, thereby procuring itself an adequate elasticity, ecstasy training could have an ill effect on it. Therefore, any magician will agree in that ascetical training necessitating diet reduction must be considered extreme and therefore unhealthy. Many Oriental methods demanding asceticism and ascetical training are one-sided and no doubt dangerous to people that are not natives of India and whose physical structure is not accustomed to the local climate. However, if the magician has been able to equally develop the 3 steps of existence, i.e. body, soul, and spirit, he need not fear that there could happen any disorders in his mental, astral, or physical bodies. But the person not going through this course step by step, but neglecting here and there the necessary precautions must account for possible disharmonies. The magician will therefore not start practicing the emission of the astral body unless he is quite certain to have a thorough command over all the steps recommended up to this point. In the case of mental wandering, the most subtle part, the astral matrix, connecting body and soul, remains in the body. But when the astral body is being separated from the physical body, everything is pulled out of the latter, which makes double precautions necessary when one proceeds to ecstasy training. The procedure to be followed when emitting the astral body is actually quite simple, especially for magicians that have a good command over mental wandering. The separation of the astral from the physical body is carried out as follows. Sit down in your asana posture, though these exercises can also be done when lying down, and let your mental body escape from your physical body. Your consciousness now being transferred into your mental body, watch your physical body. You will have the sensation of your body being asleep. By the means of imagination, you must now think that your astral body, much the same as your mental body before, is being drawn out of your physical body by your willpower. The shape of the astral body must be equal to the shape of your mental and your physical body. Then unite yourself with your astral body by entering the astral shape. When doing so, you will have a queer sensation as though the astral body were not quite yours, and therefore you must at once consciously connect your mental to your astral matrix. Otherwise, you would not succeed in keeping your astral body in your imagination, the same being constantly pulled towards your body, as though an invisible magnet were working on it. If you watch your physical body during this exercise, you will realize that there are irregularities in your body's breathing. But the moment you concentrate your thoughts on uniting yourself with your astral body and on breathing regularly, you will find yourself actually united with your astral body. Right from the moment you are thus uniting yourself with your astral body, like a spirit beside your physical body, do not watch anything else but the breathing. This exercise has to be repeated until you have become accustomed to breathing in your astral body, which you have drawn out of your physical body and which you have united yourself spiritually. And as you see, it is only conscious breathing in the astral body that brings about this separation of the astral matrix. If by repeated practice, breathing in the mental as well as the astral body has become quite familiar to you, you may do another step forward. If you begin breathing in your astral body, your physical body will stop breathing. Because of the separation of the physical body from the astral shape, the former will lapse into a state of lethargy, a sort of morbid drowsiness. The limbs are stiffening. The face turns pale just like a dead body. But as soon as you will stop breathing outside your physical body, wanting to put an end to your experiment, you will instantly notice your astral body being at once as if possessed by a magnet, pulled into your physical body, which now begins to breathe again quite normally, but not before you spiritually retransfer your mental body, i.e. your consciousness, to the physical body, so that the astral body and the mental body reassume their physical shape. You will recover your senses and gradually come round again. What we usually call dying is the same process, with the only difference that the matrix between the physical and the astral body is destroyed. In the case of normal death, the astral matrix between the physical and the astral body has become broken in two by a lethal disease or from some other reason. And therefore, the astral body, together with the mental body having lost its footing in the physical body, has to emanate automatically from the latter, whether willingly or unwillingly. During this process, breathing is transferred into the astral body without the astral body becoming conscious of it. That's why, at first, deceased beings do not feel any difference between the physical and the astral body. They will come to realize it gradually as soon as they notice that the material or physical body is no longer of any use to them, and that the astral body is subject to very different rules, the laws of the Akasha principle. I have written about this already in the previous chapters concerning the astral plane. Consequently, the practice of sending out the astral body deliberately is an imitation of the process of dying. This evidently proves how near you will come to the border between the actual life and what we call death when you are practicing such exercises. Therefore, proceed with caution. Provided that the magician has got a perfect control of sending out his astral body, 1. The fear of death has become absolutely superfluous. 2. The magician does exactly know the process of his dying as well as the place where he is going after stripping off the mortal frame. After frequently practicing the deliberate separation of the astral body from the physical one, breathing in your astral shape will become a matter of routine, so that you will not notice it anymore, and you will experience the same sensations in the astral body as if you were still in your physical body. If you wish to return into your material body, you have to hold the breath deliberately back in the astral body, so that the astral body is able to disentangle from the mental body and to reassume the shape of the physical body. Sip of tea. In this moment, when the astral body reassumes the physical shape, the body will automatically begin to breathe again, which makes the return into the physical body possible. This should always be considered first. The mental body, being subject to very different laws, does not breathe in the same rhythm as the material body does in connection with the astral body. Only if you have become accustomed to the astral and the mental body going out from and returning to the physical body, so that you can do so as often as you please, considering the precaution measures with respect to your breathing. Only then you are truly capable to withdraw successively from the physical body. In the beginning of this preliminary exercise, do not stray far from the side of your own body. Thus you have the opportunity whether to stand beside your own physical body or to take up its actual posture, namely the asana. An entirely different exercise is to observe not merely the body, but similarly, as in the sending out of the mental body, to take notice also of the immediate surroundings. After all, it is the same process as the mental wandering. You should feel, hear, and perceive every single object, with the difference, however, that the mind is, in a way, taking a robe with it. In our case, the astral body, which allows sort of a more physical effect. Supposing you will pay a visit somewhere in your mental shape only in order to observe an event which might cause either a good or a bad psychical sensation, you can neither perceive nor feel it in your mental body, nor can you be influenced anyway. On the other hand, if you make the same experiment with your astral body, you will perceive it as intensively as if you assisted at it with your physical body. Sorry, it's getting dark. I should have. The torch is in the back. I'll just have to carry on. In the next exercise, you will learn how to withdraw gradually from your body, step by step. At first, you will feel, as it were, pulled back to your physical body by an invisible, attractive power, similar to the one which a magnet exerts on the iron. This is to be interpreted by the fact that the bond between the astral and the physical body is fed, preserved, and kept in balance by the most subtle fluid. By performing the exercises of sending out the astral body, you are committing a deliberate act against the lawfulness of the natural elements in your body, which must be overcome. Consequently, the movements of your astral body requires a greater effort than if you would move away with your mental body alone. This is the reason why you should draw away from your body a few steps only at first and return to it instantly, because the magnetic attractive power is constantly pulling and influencing you. It will provoke various feelings in your astral body, such as the fear of death and the like. These feelings must be overcome. At all events, having advanced to this point, you should master all these occurrences. Extend the distance from your physical body with every new exercise. As time goes on, you will be able to cover greater and greater distances. And the farther you can remove your astral body from your physical body, all the weaker will its attractive power become. Later on, when traveling very far, you will find it really difficult to return to your body. This will become a tricky problem for the magician, mainly if he is wandering about in planes or regions which allure him so much that he is beginning to feel a little sad at the very idea of having to return to his own body. Here you see that the magician must be absolutely master of his feelings. because as soon as he gets accustomed to the idea of feeling quite at home in his astral body, not only on the physical level but also on the astral plane, he becomes usually weary of life, feeling inclined nevermore to return to his physical frame. A longing will overcome him for destroying, by sheer force, the bond of life which still ties him to his physical body. Doing so would mean to commit a suicide in the same way as on the physical body. Besides, it would be an offence against the divine providence and would naturally have karmic consequences. It is quite understandable that the temptation to commit such a suicide is very strong, especially if the magician is nearly pining away for grief in the physical world after all the blissfulness he experienced on the other planes. Having made good progress in these exercises concerning the sending out of the astral body so that he can cover any distance, the magician now has the opportunity to use this ability for manifold tasks. He can transfer himself anywhere with his astral body, whether he likes to be. He can treat sick people by accumulating and condensing the magnetic or electric fluids in the astral body, conveying them to the respective patients. The treatment with the astral body is by far more pervasive and effective than by the mere thought transference or the mental wandering, because the fluids the magician is working with will become effective on the sick person's corresponding plane only. The magician can exert a lot of other influences too. He can materialize himself with the help of the earth element, which he is condensing in his astral body on the astral plane under the very nose of an experienced adept, as well as of a layman, to such a degree that he can be seen, heard, and perceived with the physical eyes. The issue in this respect depends on the duration of the training and on the capacity of accumulation of the earth element in the astral body. It is obvious that the magician can perform physical acts too, with the help of his astral body, producing phenomena as adepts see them, such as knocking sounds and influence on terrestrial affairs, etc., finding a satisfactory explanation here. Etc. Find a satisfactory explanation here. Really and truly, no limits at all exist for a magician, and it is entirely up to himself in which line he wishes to specialize. In any case, he knows exactly how to manage all these things, as much as how to condense one part of the body only, say one hand, whereas the other hand remains astral. If, with the help of his imagination, he is capable to accelerate the electronic vibrations of an object, he will also manage to spirit away any objects corresponding to the measure of his forces and his development before the eyes of other people, and to transfer them to the astral plane. In these instances, the material objects are no longer subject to the material laws, but will become astral. Therefore, it is a mere trifle for the magician to transfer such objects to the furthest distance with the aid of his astral body, and to bring them back again to their original form. From a layman's point of view, such phenomena seem to be chimerae, does that say? Yeah. Chimerae. But any experienced magician will easily be able to produce such an even more astonishing phenomena which otherwise might be spoken of as sheer miracles. But as you have gathered from what I have explained up to now, these phenomena are no miracles. For miracles, in the true sense of the word, do not exist at all. The magician recognizes the higher powers and their laws, and he knows how to utilize them for the benefit of mankind. An amount of examples could be quoted here, but some hints may suffice to him who seeks illumination.